I hope you like that bubble pop ASMR. Here's what I got. It's a box for my paints because I have so many of them, so I'm trying to have less boxes to contain them. And the good part about buying from Julia is that you actually also get a swatch card, and this swatch card fits the top very nicely. So if you, let me see, if you open it up, and then you put your paints here, and you can put a swatch card here. Perfect. And I also got magnets. The next thing I got are some paints from Singapore, and this is from Kathleen's. Ooh! How pretty is this packaging? Oh my gosh, look at the paints! Yay! Okay, I'm gonna open the rest on Insta stories, and yeah, you can go and check out her shop and Flower Tales if you wanna buy some paints from her. Just to give you an insight of my chaotic paint mess, this is the new tin. There are 3 tins here all together, and then I have all these cluttered everywhere, so I'm gonna reorganize them into this tin over here. So just to give a perspective, these are all the paints that I have. I would say maybe 70% of them I bought. These were all mostly gifted by and Flower Tales for being her brand ambassador. So yay, thank you so much, Kathleen. Brillanza paints. This is a collection of Peachy Press with watercolors and Cliffs of Watertown. These are Dreamland calligraphy. No, Dreamland watercolors, Aloha watercolors. This is by a certain someone who made paints once and sent some for me to try. The Lonely Moon Art, Dreamland calligraphy, Tiny Cactus Designs, and as you can tell, it's a lot, but I can reassure you this is not the biggest collection. I've seen people with more paints, so you know what, we all share this obsession together. So you can see they're all really not categorized in a way, so I'm hoping this would be sufficient to... wait, oh no, I don't think it's big enough, but I'm just gonna try and figure it out. I think I figured it out. I have the Flower Tales paints here. I had to shift them around a bit so that I can make space for these new paints. So that's why they'll go in the bottom row. And obviously I have to update this swatch sheet as well. And unfortunately I cannot have this inside already because now I cannot fit. So it's okay. That's one done, sort of. And then my Brillanza paints, I have separated the full pans and the half pants, half pants and quarter pants into separate boxes. So that's done. I think this might have to be rearranged once if I were to get new paints, and these are the assortments of the other brands all in one place. So yay, I'm so glad most of them fit. And of course those that were filled already, I decided to just leave them inside the tins that they were because they were already filled. That's progress. That's progress. All these tins are empty and less of a hassle to look for paints because once they are closed they all look similar. So yay! I don't know, let me know how you organize your paints. Do you sort them by color or do you sort them by collection? So I have them in rows according to the paint maker. So with watercolors, and then this is TCW, the Cliffs of Watertown. And then I have this row is all Peachy Press, the Lonely Moon Arts, Dreamland watercolors, Dreamland calligraphy, and the dot cuts. So yay! Progress! Speaking of paint in collections, you can see the bottom part of my swatches all falling apart because I don't know why, but it seems like the expiry stickiness duration of double-sided tape is like a year. Everything's falling apart, so I don't know, I might just have to redo some of these swatches, which is fun. I like doing swatches. And as much as I do like having this very, you know, having it horizontal strips, it's not consistent throughout. You can see they're all of different lengths. But then I also like my swatches that are in different types of shapes. And I have these swatches as well that I never posted. And these swatches from Amazing Artistry. She makes all these swatch sheets which are really nice and handy. I even have my swatches on craft paper because when I got craft paper I realized they appear differently slightly, so I wanted to see what colors do well, so this is one of them. I don't know, should I try to make all of them the same kind? Should I try to make them different? Choices! Okay. Oh! Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I don't know where to put this microphone. Should I just put it here? Yeah, maybe I should put it above. No, it's gonna have the wire there. Take my trusty mic holder. Perfection. Okay, hi! So I did film all of the footage you saw earlier, I think last month, and I didn't really do a roundup. It was like, hey, I'm doing this, I'm gonna film it. So I asked on my Insta stories if you have any questions related to handmade watercolor paints. So thank you so much if you gave in your questions. In case you're wondering, yes, I am obsessed with using handmade watercolor paints, which makes me feel guilty about not using any other of my paints and mediums. So I try to use all of them as much as I can, but I realized there are some paints that I have that I've not touched in 6 months or so. So never mind, let's just go on to the first question. I'm gonna be reading it off my iPad here. Okay, let's start with this one. How long have you been using watercolor paints? Let me mute that first. I started using watercolor paints only when I came here to the US, which was back in 2019. So that's when I first purchased my paints. How and where do you store all of them? So all of them I put inside watercolor tins. Some of them I got from the paint box letters. I showed the unboxing of another tin from her earlier in this video, so you can check out the link down below. There are many other places you can buy paint box tins, and sometimes when you buy paints, they may come in the little tins itself. But as I said earlier, I have so many tins, so I decided to just put all of them in one big tin instead. What do you like the most about handmade watercolor paints? Firstly, it being full of glitter. There's the whole ASMR feel about seeing people use them and then seeing them blend. And one of the main reasons why I really enjoy using it is because of the texture when you use a paintbrush to letter with it. It's definitely thicker than watercolor inks, so I don't know, I find like I have better control of the paint when I'm using handmade watercolor paints. I don't know if you also feel the same way. Other than that, it's also a good way to support other creatives that I've gotten to know online, and then seeing them make paints from scratch is like amazing. So I really enjoy being able to support them as artists as well. And also, like, you know, I don't know, I also get a bit of FOMO when I see other people use a certain color or a certain paint, and then I'm like, I also want, and then I don't know, maybe it's not healthy. It's okay. I like handmade watercolor paints. We can share that obsession together. How do you choose what to use? I think this is referring to like colors and brands. For me personally, when I do watercolor pieces using handmade paints, I usually go by brand. So all the colors that I use for that piece is from that specific brand. But of course, there are some instances where I mix from this brand and that brand. But I don't know, just for simplicity's sake, I just use from one brand per lettering piece. And that way I can like alternate. Okay, maybe this one I use brand 1 and then brand 2 and then brand 3 and then cycle back to brand 1. So in that way I kind of account that, okay, I've used some of the paints from these brands before. I like this question. I think we have to get down to the real talk. How much do you think you spend on it in total? I pulled out my computer and my email records just so I can do a bit of calculations. Take out my calculator first. Can you believe the calculator I use for teaching still works? It still works. Speed up and I'll tell you what it is in 10 seconds. Before I give you the answer, just have a mental answer in your mind. And then later on, if you guess close to the number, let me know down in the comments. Oh my gosh, based on what you saw earlier, how much does the paints cost in your opinion? Let's see. Equals to... This is just an estimate. I think I have bought slightly more paints than what I've recorded here. Oh my gosh, I spent so much on paints. Here you go. I don't know if it's upside down, but $1,007 USD. Oh, that's a lot of money. Oh my goodness! I cannot believe I spent so much on paints, but at the same time, I can believe because I did have a bit of an obsession with it. Okay, moving on. Next question. Do you feel like with the handmade colors, there are lots of similar ones? I do feel like there are similarities in terms of certain shades, and I don't know, it may be because they purchase the same pigments or they tend to have very similar formulas. I'm not sure, but yes, there are definitely very, very similar shades. But if you use like within a brand itself, like you don't mix brands, then likelihood maybe there won't be too similar of a shades. That is also something that I think about when wanting to buy watercolor paints. Like, oh, do I have this combination of shades already? Do I have this color shifting ones already? If the answer is yes, then very likely I will not purchase them. But if the colors are unique, the colors are different from what I already have, I always go back to my swatch wall. Okay, I look at it. Okay, do I have this color? If don't have, then I will get. Which one is your oldest handmade paint? Have you finished a pen or most used? Okay, my oldest purchase, which is my very first purchase, is by Tiny Cactus Designs. The main reason why this one I bought first was because I was already following her and I really like the theme of the paints. But after using this, I realized, okay, let me try other paints, and then I slowly leaned towards using those other paints. I still love them. Okay, they're still my first paints. Have I hit pen on them yet? No, I've not hit pen on any of them yet. Oh, okay, I have one. Okay. Well, it's really tiny, but I've hit pen on this color over here, and it's Jade Vine from Aloha Watercolors. I don't know if you can see it over here. Yeah, there you go, Makeup Guru style. So this is Jade Vine. I still have some pigment in there, but I really like using this color over here. I'm quite sad there's very little left, or almost none left, but I guess that's the first paint that I've hit pen. How many makers do you own from, and also which makers do you own? Okay, so from the top of my head, I have realized how bad I am at remembering, so I missed out quite a few when I'm editing this. So here is a list of all of the paint makers who I've purchased from before, and here are some of the paint makers whose dot cuts I've tried before. So if you're interested, you can look them up on Instagram. I have, of course, the ones that I'm brand ambassador of, Brillanza Colors and I suddenly forgot, and Flower Tales. Sorry, I didn't mean to forget. I promise I remember. Which brings me to the next question, which is your favorite? I will say I am a bit biased in this question over here. I do love all of them, but my biased favorite has to be Brillanza Colors and Flower Tales. Oh my gosh, do I look really orange right now? It's sunset, but it's okay. Golden hour, let's just embrace it now. Alright, so as you can see, I look a bit different because I didn't manage to finish some of the questions from yesterday, so we're gonna continue them today. Okay, so this question is, how many handmade colors do you have, and from which shop do you have the most? I do have many paints from Brillanza Colors as well as from Flower Tales. How many altogether? I have no idea. I'm probably gonna do a count and then post them on my Insta stories and see if any of you can get close. Maybe you can win something. So yeah, it'll be fun to make a game out of it if somebody can guess what's my closest number based on what I say in my vlog here. There's also another question asking what is my favorite type of paint. One says shift hollow or color shift. Oh, hi Tina. Hi everyone, this is Tina. She's just gonna hang out over here. But anyway, my favorite type of paint will have to be color shifts. Don't mind the tail. I do like the hollow glitters from Flower Tales, where if you put it in direct sunlight, it's like very shiny. I really like those as well. But color shifts have to be my... It's like magical, you know. I always call paint makers like wizards because I have no idea how they make these kinds of paints possible. How to blend with metallic watercolors. Although I don't really literally blend watercolor paints, I do more of like blend within each stroke, but even so, it's more of like letting the pigment flow as it goes. So I don't really do much of the controlling when it comes to the blend, but I will recommend you check out Mansi of co.ligraphy.hk. She does really good videos where you can see how she does the blending for watercolor paints. So I'll leave her link down below, and of course go and watch her Instagram videos. And for the very last question, I left this for last, is somebody who asked, can I get this paint for free? And the simple answer to that is no. The thing about all of these people who make handmade watercolors is that they are all small businesses. So what that means is that they run the whole thing themselves when it comes to like production, manufacturing, publicity, marketing. A lot of the effort goes into the paints that they make, and it is also a reason why they are priced so high. Something that I learned recently is that some paints do take within 1 week to a whole month to be completed from scratch. So the fact that these products take a lot of time, it is a bit like, I don't know, I feel like it's not exactly in the right place for anyone to assume that they can get any of these paints for free. If you love seeing people use watercolor paints, the best thing that you can do is to buy those paints and directly support them yourself. But with that being said, I will say that I have received paints for free. They've reached out to me asking if I like to try their paints, and they may send me a sample, and that is really up to the paint makers themselves. But to ask them to give you paints is not something I see that is ethically correct. But again, this is just my opinion. And I'm also very grateful that they have chosen me, of all people, to receive and try their paints. Of course, down the line in the future, I will definitely want to buy their paints if I really like them. I don't think you need to have a huge platform, like, or you need to have a certain number of followers to receive. I don't think that's the case. If you are passionate about your art and you show it through the works that you do, I'm sure they will notice you for that. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Oh my gosh, it's so long. I'm glad we had this chit chat session sharing our mutual love for watercolor paints. If you have any other questions for me, just feel free to leave them down below. Thank you so much for watching again. If you enjoyed it, thumbs up. Thank you. And also subscribe to my channel for more videos in the future. We'll see you in the next video. Say bye, Tina. Tina, say bye-bye. I'm gonna wave, okay? Bye!